The Canadian government is annihilating the natural health product industry in our country. Over 80% of Canadians use natural products on a regular basis, so this is not just an industry problem, this is a Canadian problem. And based on industry forecasts, as many as 4 out of every 5 natural health products will be gone in the very near future. This includes your vitamins and minerals, your plant-based and herbal remedies, along with many everyday consumer products like toothpaste, deodorant, shampoo, skincare products, sunscreen, and more. So what's happening here? In short, our government is implementing 3 initiatives that are being pitched as safer regulations for Canadians. But in reality, one initiative is being used as a smokescreen to overregulate an already compliant industry so they can implement 2 financial initiatives that will bankrupt many more small businesses while running the rest of our natural health companies out of our country due to the high cost of entry. So instead of helping the citizens of Canada, our government is not only making Canadians less healthy, they're further damaging our economy while making more room for big business and big pharma. In a little more detail, here are the facts. In 2014, the Standing Committee on Health in Canada determined that natural health products, or NHPs, were not drugs. And as a result, a separate and distinct set of guidelines should apply to natural health products and pharmaceutical drugs. So this is when the government introduced the Protecting Canadians from Unsafe Drugs Act, also known as Vanessa's Law. This law was used to underpin the safety of pharmaceutical drugs and medical devices in Canada by strengthening Health Canada's ability to collect information and take action when serious health risks were identified. In other words, it was kind of like a VAERS system for all things pharmaceutical in Canada. At this time, natural products did not fall under the umbrella of Vanessa's Law. And again, they made this distinction because there is much lower risk to natural health products than any prescription drugs or pharmaceuticals. But as of June 22nd, 2023, all natural health products have now been lumped into the same regulatory category with respect to reporting and sanctions as all pharmaceuticals. Now, some people might say, Jonathan, what's the big deal? This is safer for Canadians. In fact, if you listen to the mainstream media, they will agree by telling you things like, these changes will protect the health of Canadians by enabling regulators to take stronger action. Or, we've known for a long time that a lot of these products are not regulated, which, by the way, is just a bold-faced lie. And the most inflammatory, there are claims made by some so-called practitioners that are not supported by the evidence and can lead to deadly consequences. Yeah, I nearly vitamin C'd myself to death. Thanks, Health Canada. You know, I think now is a good time to tell you how our government defines NHPs. According to Health Canada, natural health products are naturally occurring substances that are used to restore or maintain good health. So I'm not sure painting NHPs as deadly unregulated products that require stronger regulations is exactly in line with their profile. It's actually wild to me that they have the audacity to scream bloody murder over natural health products after experimental drugs were mandated over the last 2 years with the highest incident reporting rate of any pharmaceutical in history. In any case, all of this is crazy because the regulatory system for NHPs in Canada is already up there with the best in the world. That's right. Health Canada does a full review of every product, which currently takes over 200 days if you're lucky, at which point you get a natural product number if you meet all regulations. So if you're buying a licensed natural health product in Canada, your level of comfort should already be extremely high, which means all the government is doing is penalizing an already compliant industry. So the big question is, why? Well, like I said, the additional regulatory measures for your safety are the smokescreen. This is how they pander to the public to justify all the good things that they're doing for the people. But the real reason is so that the government can launch 2 financial initiatives, which will result in the disappearance of 80% of all natural health products in Canada. These 2 initiatives are new labeling requirements to meet the new regulatory standards and something called cost recovery. The labeling regulations already went through in the summer of 2022, which sounds harmless but insist on more packaging and more paper labeling in a time where everything is digital. This is not only out of touch, it is completely unnecessary and leads to poor sustainability for all those environmentally concerned citizens. It's a solution to a problem we never had. Then in May of 2023, the government introduced the Cost Recovery Initiative, which is the government saying that the natural health market now has to bear Health Canada's administrative cost to bring their products to market. But how much can that really cost? Well, the cost recovery alone will land somewhere between $250,000 to $500,000 per product. In fact, the one small business that I personally know is expecting to pay about $200,000 for new labeling and over $300,000 for cost recovery, which is completely untenable. So they will either shut down or move their business to the US. So now every company is asking whether or not it makes sense to continue operating in Canada. This won't just take products off the shelves, it will also kneecap manufacturing, which means fewer jobs, fewer products in the market, and also that you will have to pay 30 to 40% more for every natural health product that does remain, given the additional cost to bring them to market. And if this isn't bad enough, here's the cherry on top. you can also say goodbye to innovation in the natural health space, because the government is introducing a separate cost recovery for innovative products where you will have to pay $60,000 just to apply for your license, which doesn't even mean you will get it. So in an industry with no IP protection, our government expects companies to pay outrageous fees to bring innovation to the market, which when approved can be copied a day later for a fraction of the cost. I mean, this is just preposterous. I just want to make something perfectly clear here. This is calculated destruction of the natural health product industry in Canada by our government, disguised as a safety benefit for society, right? They implemented new and completely unnecessary labeling requirements in 2022, which come at a huge cost for no benefit. They added natural health products to the Protection from Unsafe Drugs Act through a budget annex, which for clarity is a footnote in the final pages of our 2023 federal budget, otherwise known as the sneakiest way of implementing new rules in a society. And now they're going to add cost recovery to the tune of $250,000 to $500,000 per product just to enter the market for doing literally no additional work for those companies. All of this is happening with no debate, no discussion, and no alternative solution. And all of this comes into effect in 2025, at which point 80% of our natural products, including innovation, will be a thing of the past. So after 3 years of our government decimating our economy, crushing small business, and jeopardizing our health, they're going to continue down the exact same path by decimating the natural product market, further damaging our economy, crushing many more small businesses, and putting our health and well-being in the backseat, where once again, nobody but big business, big pharma, and a few corrupt politicians are winning. And just so you know, the functional food and natural health product market in Canada generates just under $30 billion a year and growing. So this will result in another massive transfer of wealth from small business to big business in our country. So what can we do? Well, it may be a bit of a Hail Mary at this point, but the Canadian Health Food Association has put together some resources that you can use to create some political pressure at saveoursupplements.ca. But truth be told, now that these initiatives have been passed under the federal budget, all it requires is a stamp from our health minister, Jean-Yves Duclos. So be sure your messages or those of your political representative reach this man. And you know, just to be transparent, nobody asked me to do this video. I'm doing this video because 90% of the products I use are natural. Because I want people to be healthy and live longer, happier lives. I mean, for some reason, our government is trying to burn this country to the ground. And for some reason, they're trying to take us all with them. So as long as I have a voice, I'll keep doing what I can to be a voice of reason.